Welcome to Jane Malik Yoga. Today I'm going to share with you a half-hour yin yoga practice. It is a seasonal yin yoga practice where we use the wisdom of the meridian theory within our yoga practice to align with nature and the seasons around us, and also connect with our innate healing and wisdom within our body. So today we're going to be exploring the earth element through the stomach and spleen meridian. My invitation is for you to get some blocks if you have some, or using books, large fat books if you're at home, and a bolster if you have one, or rolled up blanket for support. In yin yoga we like to support our body as much as we can. So if you go off and get those, I'll see you back here in a moment for our practice. So welcome back. Just find yourself in your comfortable seated position, just as I introduce some of the theory or the information behind this practice. So the earth element within the yoga traditions resides in the base chakra, Muladhara, which is the lowest point of our energy system. We can sense it at the lower spine or at the perineum, or for a woman here at our cervix. And essentially it's the part of our energy, our body, that connects with the earth. So just as you're sitting, I really invite you to connect to this region of the body, the base, maybe even the soles of the feet, the legs, and feeling yourself with a few deep breaths, connecting to the earth. So we'll also be drawing from meridian theory. So the stomach and the spleen meridian travel up through the front of our body. So through the front of the thighs, up through the front of the body, through the throat. So the stretches we'll be engaging in our yin yoga practice today are really designed to target the connective tissue in this region of the body. And as we do, as we stretch and we open the flow of our energy in these regions, we're also opening the flow of the earth element through the beautiful wisdom of the meridians. So some of the key words that we'll be weaving into our practice today, which are the qualities of the earth element, it's a sense of groundedness and also nourishment. So really the question I invite you as we practice to reflect on is, how do you nourish yourself? Where do you feel most nourished? How do you ground yourself? Where do you feel most grounded? So these are the qualities we'll be really reflecting on through the postures we do today. So the colour of the earth element and the spleen and the stomach meridian is yellows and browns. So I picked us some beautiful sunflowers today from the garden, which is a beautiful representation of this late summer season that we are here in Southern Hemisphere in March and April, February, March, April. It's a changeability in the seasons when we're moving from the summer into the autumn. And in the Northern Hemisphere, you'll be able to work that out between those seasons as well. But having said that, you can do this practice at any time of the year. So I like to do these practices aligning with the external season, but it could be that you are needing at any point in the year this need for nourishment and groundedness, and so therefore the element of earth you might want to weave into your practice. So let's begin by coming up to all fours. So we're going to take our knees hip wider than hip width apart, so more mat width apart, the feet extending out from the knees, hands out in front, and we're just going to start to rock backwards and forwards, Just starting to notice as we do so, where do we feel a stretch? Maybe through the inner thighs, the hips. Always coming to what feels like an edge. So for some of us, it may be just a little movement. Just a little rocking it forwards. For others, if we're more flexible, we might be able to come further back. So really finding your rhythm with your breath. Always using your exhale as you move into a stretch. Inhale, moving. Exhale, strength, going into the depth of the stretch. Beautiful. So as we now find where our edge is, I invite you to come back to that edge. So we hover around. We want just enough of an engagement that we feel the stretch, but also not too much. We want to feel comfortable, feel an engagement. Now you may wish to bring your arms down and create a little pillow with your hands. This is where we can also use our props. So we can always use the prop, the block for our forehead. And as we come to our position, just let the sit bones start to come back towards the earth. You might even sense your base chakra opening through the hips, breathing into the stretch. Coming to a place of stillness in our yin yoga. As we come to the stillness, we breathe into the sensations where we feel the stretch. Letting your breath be natural. And just reflecting on these qualities of nourishment and groundedness. Breathing your nourishing breath. Noticing the stretch through the hips, the thighs. Coming back a little further as we stay in our yin posture. It might be that we come back a little further, deepening that stretch. If ever you feel that you have come too far, coming back a little. Just always staying within your zone of just enough stretch, just enough comfort, just enough engagement. Beautiful. We'll stay here for a few more moments. Just noticing whatever's arising within the physical body. Maybe noticing the mental movements of your mind, emotions. You may even hear those beautiful birds as we're practicing here outside. Sometimes bringing our yoga practice outside, particularly when we're working with the elements, is a beautiful way to connect our inner energy with the external Mother Nature. Beautiful. Coming up and releasing. Let's come onto our belly. Coming onto our belly just to rest for a few breaths. We take 5 deep belly breaths. Letting out a sigh, a sound. Noticing the belly expanding on the earth. As you exhale, the lower back descends. Beautiful. Couple more breaths. We always take these moments between postures to rest, to let the body come back to a centered stillness, to be able to observe the sensations and any changes to our energy that the posture has brought. Beautiful. So let's make our way to come back up to all fours. We're going to come into the swan position. So all fours, knees hip width apart. Let's bring our right knee forward with the foot just under the groin. Lowering the groin, back leg stretches out along the mat. And let's just rock side to side. So feeling that sensation through the hips. Just exploring the movement. You might even want to look towards the back of the mat, over the shoulder. Just exploring in your body, where do you hold tension? Where is this posture? Opening the energy. And then let's bring our right foot forward. So we're bringing our groin down towards the mat. And you want your shin at any direction. The aim is one day to maybe have it at a 45-degree angle towards, so aligned with the front of the mat. However, I haven't seen anybody who's been able to do that, and that's not the aim. What our aim is to get the shin at a point that we're comfortable and we can feel this engagement through the right hip, the right thigh, lowering the groin towards the floor, raising the upper body. So we're getting a nice stretch here through the front of the body. We can even look up to the sky above the ceiling. Noticing, where do you feel this stretch? Maybe it's through the front of the left thigh, left hip, the hip flexor. This is a good psoas stretch. So if we experience stressful events, the psoas muscle often goes into constriction. So this is a beautiful way to stay connected to where our body holds stress, where these postures can release, create an open flow of the energy. So just imagine here the stomach and the spleen meridians, if you have an image of them, or even just visualize the front of the body. Visualize the qualities of nourishment and groundedness. Breathing into the parts of the body that you feel the stretch. On each exhale, softening, letting go. Beautiful. A few more moments in this upright swan. Noticing the parts of the body that are coming into your awareness. Breathing. Feeling the nourishing breath. Reaching deep down into the body, into the connective tissue. Beautiful. So you can stay here in the upright swan, or if you wish, you can come forward a little. So as we come forward, we may start to feel the shift of the engagement of the stretch. I'm feeling it more now in the right hip than in the left. So the left hip flexor is eased off, whereas it's a little deeper now in my right thigh. So just notice for you, where does it feel like a good stretch for you? Where are you engaging? You might even want to come a little further forward into sleeping swan. The head can bow forward. This is where we can also use our props to support the body, so we are fully supported. So as we come to stillness, we can be really present to whatever's arising in the physical body. Noticing your mental and emotional body. We welcome all parts of us into our practice. So if emotions move, if tears come, if anger arises, all of these are welcome in our practice. As the connective tissue opens, a lot of these energies that may have been a little stuck can start to flow. So we observe with a beautiful mindfulness, observing what's arising, what's moving through us, free of judgment, full of compassion. Beautiful. Let's slowly raise the body, slowly releasing that leg. So always moving very slow out of our yin postures. And let's come to lie on our back. So as we lie down, we can come into a nice star position, taking the feet wide, the hands wide, and we come for 5 deep, nourishing breaths. Noticing the parts of the body that have received the stretches so far. You might notice an afterglow, maybe coolness or warmth, where the body has been stretched, where maybe now there is a little more flow in your energy. Noticing the front of the body. Beautiful. And let's come back up to all fours, where we change sides with our swan. So this time all fours, left knee comes forward. Let's first just start with some gentle movements side to side. So the heel is just below the perineum. Just exploring your movement, the stretch. Where do we feel in the body the engagement of this stretch? And center, let's bring the left foot forward, lowering the groin towards the floor. So each side may be quite different, so really notice. It might be that the foot is much more closer to the groin on one side, and other times it might be able to come out at that 45-degree angle. So explore for you and really notice if the sides are different. Just really honor the asymmetry in our bodies. So with our groin lowering down, you can sense the Muladhara, the base chakra, grounding down towards the earth. We can feel the stretch through the front of the body. We might even want to lift the chin, looking up. Notice that stretch through the front of the body. Feeling the stretch through the front of the right hip flexor, the psoas, maybe through the left hip, the left thigh, wherever you're feeling the stretch and the opening, really breathing your nourishing breaths, receiving, letting go of anything that doesn't serve us, any tension, any anxiety, any worry. Feeling Mother Earth holding us. Feeling the earth quality in our body. Beautiful. So you could stay in this upright position if you feel this is the stretch that your body's needing today. Or we can come forward a little to whatever feels like a good stretch through the thigh, the hip, natural breath. It's like we imagine the in-breath traveling in towards the body wherever we're feeling the stretch, and the exhale, letting go, softening, feeling the engagement of the deep connective tissue. If ever a position doesn't feel comfortable, if ever there's a short, sharp burning sensation, please come out of the posture. That's a sign that the posture is potentially injurious for you. So we want to explore different positions. If this is a really challenging position for you, I will just give you a variation for people who would like a variation. So if you're enjoying that, stay in that position. One variation is a reclined swan. As we lie on our back, we can bring our left foot to the right thigh. We then bring the right knee towards the chest. We bring our left hand in between the knee and the thigh, and we clasp our hands around the shin or the knee. We inhale, and on the exhale we gently draw the right knee towards the chest. So this is giving us that similar stretch through the left thigh, the left hip. We're not getting so much of a stretch through the right hip flexor. However, this is a nice modification if you find the upright swan too difficult for today. So whichever position you're in, we'll stay for a few more moments. Letting your breath be your guide, guiding you to the sensations. On each exhale, we're letting go. So some yin postures can be quite challenging. It's a bit of a misunderstanding with yin yoga. Sometimes people describe it as very restorative or very relaxing. Whilst it can be, some postures can also be quite challenging. So please, if you notice that challenge, if you feel that it's safe for the body, we stay in that stillness with a mindfulness, observing and allowing each exhale to let the body soften, gradually opening through each breath. So it's a real practice of being able to stay present through challenge, to allow the body to find its ease and its grace amidst challenge. Beautiful. So very gently, when you're ready, releasing. We're going to come to lie on our back again for our 5 deep, nourishing breaths. As you come back to lie on the earth, I really invite you to notice your back body, the backs of the legs, the buttocks, the back, the head, the shoulders, the arms, all parts of your body that are touching the earth. And just taking a few breaths, really receiving the vibration from the earth, sensing and feeling your connection to Mother Earth. Beautiful. So we're going to do one more yin posture. So this posture would be good if you had your bolster or your rolled up blankets. If you haven't got a bolster and you are enjoying yin yoga, I would highly recommend purchasing one, because the more our body can feel fully supported, the more we can surrender into our postures. So what we're doing is we're coming into saddle position, where the feet are alongside the buttocks. This is giving us a stretch here through the thighs. If this is very challenging for you to do it with both legs, we can do one-sided saddle. So I might demonstrate the one-sided saddle. I wonder which is the best side. I think it's this one. So bending your left knee, right leg is straight. We bring our bolster all the way up to the buttocks. We're going to start to recline back. If we can come into the full reclined posture, We drape the spine back onto the bolster. If you find that's a little too much, you can always have a little pillow or block just to support the head. So the idea is we're wanting to feel this stretch all the way through the front of the thigh, up through the front of the body, up. Beautiful. Taking a few breaths, noticing if you feel safe here. If it's ever too much, we could always come to a slightly reclined position, so halfway. So if this is more for you. If you are in the full saddle, just notice both sides of the thighs, front of the body. So really notice where you feel this stretch through the front of the body. It's a beautiful opener for the stomach spleen meridians. So we really stay here for quite a few minutes. If you are new to yin yoga, it might be you come to it for just a shorter period and over time build up. But in yin yoga, our aim is to stay 3 to 5 minutes because it takes that length of time for us to drop deep into the connective tissue. If you're doing one-sided, you could maybe now change so that we have the left leg straight, right leg bent. Notice how it is on the different side. Some sides are easier. Our bodies carry many different patterns of tension, patterns of holding. So we can really notice the difference between our right and our left through our practice. When we notice, we're not aiming to notice if anything's wrong or right. It's about observation. Just observing the patterns we hold in the body and observing how each posture, what it brings to our body. And this may change over time. The more we practice our yoga, the more our bodies change. Beautiful. So when we're ready, we're going to slowly raise the upper body and slowly release those legs. So as we come into our resting, you might want to release the body with a few movements, maybe even a few hip circles, just exploring a little bit of movement in the body to release these long holds. And then we're going to come into our final position for today, Shavasana. So Shavasana, we lie back on the earth. So the back of our body resting on the earth. The front of the body open to the sky and the cosmos above. And the hands are by the side of the body, hands facing out, palms facing up or slightly inwards. And the feet are a comfortable hip width apart. And just take a few deep natural breaths, noticing anything that's arising in the body. If you stay lying on the ground, I'm just coming to sitting where it's easier to teach. So as you feel the sensation of lying on the earth, we go inwards to the sensations of the body. So noticing the impact of our practice today. Noticing with your breath any sensations that you feel in particular parts of the body. Maybe noticing the hips, the thighs, the front of the body, the torso. We can use our breath in a very natural, nourishing way. As we inhale, we receive the earth energy. As we exhale, we let go, imagining our whole body sinking deeper into Mother Earth. Inhale, receiving. Exhaling, letting go of anything that doesn't serve us. Beautiful Mother Earth is such a powerful composter. There's no such thing as bad energy. She can, through her powers of composting, transmute and transform. So the invitation is for us to really notice anything in our bodies or in our life that doesn't serve us. What prevents us from nourishing, from grounding, any anxieties, any worry. And just imagine Mother Earth receiving this with love and compassion. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly bring little movements to the fingers and the toes, stretching the body out a little, gradually finding your way to come up to sitting. So I hope you enjoyed that half-hour practice. If you did enjoy it, please sign up here on my YouTube channel where I share practices. Also sign up for my newsletter, link is all below, as I have many offers in relation to yin yoga, including in-person retreats here in Central Victoria, as well as online courses. So sign up to my newsletter. I send out a monthly newsletter where I share practices as well as seasonal wisdom aligned with yoga and the garden. So I hope you enjoyed this time. Hope to see you again soon. Namaste.